have to back up again a little bit, so.
Okay, it's working because it was looking for her touch.
It was a little
What's
quiet
that?
for a while.
Looks like it's working.
Okay, good.
And it's 7. Oh, I had 7 on here.
I'm going by the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got 7.
It's not gonna stop saying. Because it's not just doing this, it's not what you're supposed to say to other people. So.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Again, go ahead and call the meeting to order. Darcy, call the roll, please.
Moore.
Here.
Mar. Moody.
Here.
Engstrom.
Here.
Englehart.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3 is the pledge. Everybody, Sable, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 4 then is perfection and approval of the agenda. Is there a motion for that, please?
Motion to approve the agenda.
All right, there's a second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Carried. Item 5 then is public comment time. Anything from anybody out there? Welcome, everybody. All right, nothing. We will go on then to item 6, which is a chicken request for 10134 Aspen Avenue, Vasquez. Come up, please, and get talk into the microphone and tell us who you are, please. That's okay.
Okay. My name's Adriana Vasquez. I live at the 10134 Aspen Avenue. We also own the property before that address, the 10112. It's roughly 3 acres right next to the cemetery. So we're still within the city limits. And I guess I just wanted to inquire the possibilities of having just like laying hens.
Hens.
Mhm.
How many?
The Clayton County side.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not many. 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah, just personally, like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
yes.
Or
yes.
sell a few eggs, that's okay.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And how, that's in the city limits though, right?
It is
Yeah.
within the city limits.
What about your
To your
neighbors?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. So on one side we have the cemetery. Next, yep. The other house is Kari. I can't think of Seabrook, but the house is currently for sale, so we don't have any.
How
neighbors at the
close,
moment.
how close is that house?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're gonna not have any roosters?
Do we have any precedent set on this?
Yeah.
The only thing, you have allowed some folks that are out there, they're in the city limits, but as far out as they get, so, and you allowed that to happen, so.
It's like right across from your, probably almost across from the vet clinic, Connie Farrington.
Okay.
And I believe, is there some out,
States Drive.
States Drive, yes.
Oh, yeah, there's that other one out there.
Yeah.
You said you also owned what property?
It's 10112 Aspen Avenue. And that's just basically like an empty
Okay.
lot.
Yep.
Are they gonna be on the property that you're on or the vacant property? Is your property, the vacant property closest to the cemetery? You keep them on that side,
We could, so that it's further away from
the house?
our actual
Neighbors.
neighbors.
Would it be an idea to wait till the house is sold so you could ask the new owners Will your new neighbors, if they would mind, would that be an idea?
I could. Like I said, I went to get an input, because I didn't know what it,
I understand.
yeah, if I can.
And I'm sorry, I missed it. Which one are you selling? Or which, the 3,
Well-
4 or the 12?
No, we're not selling.
Oh.
anything.
No, the neighbor's
My neighbor's
house is
house.
currently
Oh,
for sale.
mhm.
The Carrie Seabrook?
Yeah.
That one's saying, okay.
Yep.
Have you talked to her about it?
I have not, she's not residing at her house anymore,
Okay.
so I think it's vacant for the moment.
The house is
And
up
they-
for sale, so maybe. it's
They
not
haven't
bad
sold it
situation.
yet. It's
Not
just
as far as
up.
I know.
I thought we had an ordinance against it because you remember that one lady came and we gave her permission.
That's why she's here, because
Okay.
it's not allowed by ordinance unless you say so.
Yeah, you guys.
we
can-
can
You can, you
override
bet.
that.
Yes, you can decide. Yes, yes.
I'd rather wait and see what the neighbor that moves in thinks.
Just maybe to reach out to them.
That's fine.
and ask them.
What would I need to do, like check with them and then bring it back to the agenda, or
Maybe
just
have them
mention?
sign something that they agree that it's okay, perhaps.
Have
Okay,
them come to a meeting.
Yeah, that would be good.
What about
too.
the cemetery association? Would you want their input or?
With that?
Cemetery Association was, do you want their input also, or?
It's an adjoining neighbor.
I don't know.
People there can't hear too good.
No, they won't. So the folks that are there aren't gonna say a word.
But if somebody has flowers and if they get out and they, desecrate the flowers or something,
A chicken will do that.
they'll eat about anything, or worse than a goat.
You can have a coop for them and everything.
Yes.
Keep them inside.
So they're not gonna be free range. You're gonna have them.
and a cool.
Yes,
that's the
okay.
plan.
Yeah, that-
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we should wait until the maybe people move in and get their okay. That's my opinion.
That's
You
only
think that's
fair.
it? Yeah.
I'll just have them come to a meeting too, and
And take it from there.
Yeah.
I can do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Just bring it, yeah, just bring it back when that happens.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, item 7 then is ordinance number 703-25. An ordinance amending chapter 69 parking regulations of the city code of ordinances.
So you remember last meeting, you had this conversation about Walnut and Lilac Lane on that bend. So this basically spells out from the city attorney the footage that is not allowed for the parking.
Okay.
So that was Walnut and Lilac, huh?
Correct, yeah.
And we'll have signage up. that'll
We
say-
will, once you pass the ordinance,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
so choose to do so, yeah.
I move that we accept ordinance 703-25 for parking regulations.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, Darcy, whenever you're ready.
Moore,
yes.
Mar,
yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
Okay,
Alright.
now this will go to a second reading unless you waive the second and third and finalize tonight. I'll need a motion to do so. Or let it go to a second reading.
Second and third reading? Okay, is there a second to that?
I'll second
Very good. Whenever you're ready, Darcy.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
it. Yes.
Moody,
No.
Ingstrom, Engelhardt.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Thank you. We can go on to item 8. That's ordinance number 704-25, an ordinance amending chapter 41 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Postville, Iowa, amending provisions related to fireworks. And this came from the state?
Yeah, so you want to talk Matt or
Yeah,
about
Matt,
me?
go ahead.
So the governor signed a new reading law with fireworks for the state of Iowa. They are now legal to use with, even though the city has ordinances they're not allowed to use without, permits. They no longer need the permits for July 3rd, 4th, and December 31st. Those 3 dates are pretty much open statewide.
So that goes into effect July 1st.
Does it make it crazy?
Not really. I mean, before the city ordinance was stated that they had to have a permit in order to light fireworks off in town. But now with the new law, they don't need a permit for those 3 dates. So anything prior or after,
Then they did it.
they're still going to get in violation, but those 3 dates, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they're simply allowed those 3
Yeah.
days.
And it's any fireworks on those
Any fireworks. Yep.
Kids don't have to be having.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's any fireworks.
You have a place for all these dogs that are gonna go crazy.
Huh, yeah.
Get extra fingers on ice?
I mean, that was mentioned about. I mean, there was a big dispute about that, with this law, and people talking about the dogs and
Oh, even people.
losing
Yes,
fingers
yes,
and EMS
yes.
calls and
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
And there's no restriction on Iowa fireworks anymore?
mm-mm.
Goes into effect July
It
1st.
goes in effect
The
July
governor
1st.
signed the law.
Yeah.
Isn't she a baby?
Yeah, so that's new and in
So,
our ordinance, it's.
So the fireworks law, a couple years ago, they opened up fireworks through the whole state of Iowa, but at that time, city still had ordinances that you couldn't do it without a permit. Well, now those ordinances are deleted with those 3 dates that they got signed.
But we can do our thing without going by what Iowa state said.
Mm-mm.
No,
Oh,
Nope.
so,
no,
okay.
no, you have to.
You
allow
have
it.
to.
That was the specific purpose of this law, to override that. That was the specific purpose of this law, is to override that.
Yep.
And there was no like sun up or sundown?
No.
Nope.
It's that full 48 hours. Like
Yep.
34.
July 3rd, 4th, and
31st.
December 31st.
And the city has to have the insurance on this?
No.
What is this insurance thing of personal injury?
That's if somebody wants a permit on different dates of
On
the
the
year.
different
Like say if there's a
dates.
celebration and they wanted to do fireworks, yeah.
And then it kind of depicts who can do that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're reading our ordinance.
Well,
So anyway, this ordinance is just amending our current chapter 41 to be in compliance as of July 1st with the new law that was passed by the state.
I know they discussed it like in their, like Cedar Rapids and on Waterloo and all them, because they had big celebrations already pre-planned and it was
Mhm.
going to conflict with those. And their city councils were really struggling with, what do we do now? Because we've given permits out already to some of these organizations. And they said, we have to abide by the state code.
Mhm.
So,
So if we have to comply by what the state says, then we'd have to change our city ordinance, correct? We don't, our hands are tied really.
Yeah.
We just have to approve it.
Right.
I hate it.
So we need to amend the ordinance to, those 3 days were just, they can go blow hell out of each other.
yeah.
Have them scared first.
So, is there a motion? Motion? There's nothing we can do,
There's nothing
folks.
we can do about
it. Say it.
I'll move we pass this ordinance or resolution, what is it called?
Amendment.
Adopt ordinance.
Ordinance number 704-25.
All right. Second?
I'll second.
Are you ready, Darcy?
Moore,
Here,
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
Okay, now second and third, unless you waive.
I move we
Waive
waive.
the second and third.
second, I'll second that.
I'll second it.
Nope, I have
Larry.
Larry.
already did.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, my hearing aids aren't turned on. I'll third it.
You can vote
Okay.
here pretty quick.
Moore,
Here,
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yeah.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
All right.
So with that being said, is the city gonna put something in paper prior to July 4th, so we don't get a ton of phone calls saying, hey, there's fireworks being lit off? Then we
Well-
have to explain to the residents ahead of time that, these are the dates you can, but anything after or before, you're gonna, Right.
Violation.
I suppose
yeah.
Better time to president.
that'd be a great idea.
Okay, I'll make sure we
Okay,
put something in the
all right.
paper, Mary,
Okay,
so
thank you.
we can move ahead.
Yeah.
Darcy will get that going.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, we'll go on to item 9 then, parking area bids for 201 South Booty.
So 201 South Booty is the Brotherly Love Lodge. And from what I understand, the parking there is the city's parking. We maintain that. We had a request to bring some gravel in there. However, we don't allow gravel in the boulevards anymore. So we have 2 bids to blacktop or asphalt that area. One is from River City Paving for $8,250, and the other is from Klusner Construction for $8,280. So low bid would be River City Paving.
You have to have a motion.
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
I move to accept the bid from River City Paving.
All right.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Carried. All right, thanks. Item 10 then is appointment to the Almaty County E911 Board. Who are those folks, Darcy?
Dave Paulus and Matt Ellis is second to the 911 board for Alameda. And they both agreed to continue for another year. So
So we need a motion to accept those fellows.
I'd make motion to reappoint Dave House and Matt Ellis to the Elmkey E911 board.
Right, second,
Second. I
Larry?
thought it was 2 years, Darcy.
I think it's every year.
Says 2 years on here.
Oh, does it? Maybe they changed it
I
to a
don't
2-year
know.
term.
From July of 21.
You still good with 2 years?
That just says two.
We'll have to twist my arm,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right. Anything else to discuss? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Carry. Okay, item 11 then is water tower lease agreement to the radio station. And that's review and discussion. I know, Darcy, you've been in contact with somebody, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so Water Tower Radio. We had an agreement with what individual by the name of Rick Watts. And he originally had come to the city. He had bought from the chamber the rights for KPVL. So the city had agreed to allow him to broadcast off our tower for a period of time, and then he was to move the equipment. Well, he never moved the equipment. We didn't have anything in writing. It was just a conversation per the council in the minutes. He has been paying us $200 a month since he came to the council and had that agreement. I recently was contacted by a Christian radio. I think it was a Martin Gibbs. And he said that he bought the rights now to KPVL and they want to continue broadcasting from that equipment off our tower. And he wants an agreement. Well, I didn't have an agreement to send him to look at because there really wasn't one with Rick Watts. And so the city attorney, I asked him to draft one, and I have that in your packet for you to review and give comment back, and then maybe have a conversation about what type of rent you're thinking. I think we should ask for more than $200 because it's really of no benefit to the taxpayers for them to utilize the city's tower for this Christian radio that will be out of
So we've been getting the 200 a
Washington.
month though, right?
$200 a month.
Now,
Yeah.
does this other guy know that we've been paying 200 a month?
He does not. He was asking me how much he wanted a lease, and I
Okay.
didn't give him that information
Okay.
because I didn't have a lease agreement to show him.
Okay, good.
And we're not paying, they're paying us.
Right. Rick Watts has been paying us. So now this company wants to continue with using the tower with a new lease agreement. So you had a rough draft in your packet from the
Yeah.
attorney. I guess I need feedback if you want changes, if you're okay with it, and what kind of money are you thinking?
Is there like a going rate of what people usually pay in rent for these kind of towers? Do we have anything to go off of?
I don't have anything. I could maybe ask on my clerk feeds and see if I can get some information, but I don't have anything. I can tell you that the cell tower that we get rent from, that's $770 a month for the cell tower we allow.
really?
And what's on the cell
And I was
tower?
thinking like 500.
That's over here in the city parking
But
lot,
what's renting off of it?
US Cellular.
Oh, okay.
It's the cell phone tower.
We own the tower?
No, they do.
Okay.
We
we're
own the
renting
parking
off
lot.
of it.
We
Okay.
they pay rent for it to be in the city parking
Oh, I
lot.
see what you're saying.
But now you're dealing with a water tower.
Right.
So
Is there anything else is there anything on that cell tower? that
On
pays
our
like a
water
co-rent?
tower?
No, on the cell
No.
tower that pays a co-rent?
Mm-mm.
Is the water tower have got any damage because of having equipment on it?
We
No.
already have equipment on it now.
Right, there's 911 and internet, and
But on the water tower, there's already that equipment.
it is already there. Yes.
So
Mhm.
it would just be figuring out how much to charge them if they want.
What I'm asking, does the tower have any signs of damage or anything because of having equipment
No.
up on the top like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did he give a time frame of how long he wants to rent it for?
We have not had that conversation yet. He's just originally asking me to send him a lease, and he wants to start a negotiation. So I just don't know if you even want me to entertain that or you don't. I guess I'm just looking for direction on what you want. Do you want to continue a lease? Do you not? Do you want to be done with it? Do you?
That equipment's old.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
like
old, but
30
it's
years old.
Well, obviously it's a value. I think
Yeah,
he
it's
sold it
much.
for 25,000 to this. So obviously
Oh
there
my
was value to
goodness.
it when they came to us and paid us $200 a month that we weren't aware of.
About
So
Wow.
there's some value here.
He's
Christian broadcasting station.
it's out east, isn't it?
yeah, it's out
Out east somewhere.
east.
If
Yeah.
it was inexpensive, they'd be on the cell tower, and that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
If there's any co-share on that.
That's all with US Cellular. I don't.
And I know they're a little touchy about who they tower share with. but
Right.
When I did zoning, that was, of course, there was other cell companies wanted to tower share.
Sure.
So
If we could get an idea,
I would, yeah, I
in the
would ask.
ballpark if we could, yeah, but stay anyway.
But that's where our 911 or equipment is too.
Yeah.
How tall is our tower? Anybody know? Our water tower?
I couldn't tell you.
Trivia question, Matt.
No.
Stay anyway.
I wouldn't know.
I think it hurt if he fell off.
It's not the fall, it's the stop.
Ooh,
the bottom.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, so a little direction if you folks want to give us some.
Let's say at least 70
What do you think,
feet.
Emily?
50 to 165 feet.
Free money's always good to
I was
Equipment's
gonna
there.
say, I mean, the stuff is there.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well make some money off of it. So,
Exactly.
So do you want me to send him a lease and let them make an offer of what they want to pay? And then in the meantime, I can find out what other cities, if they have agreements, what they get
Can't hurt.
and start there. So you're okay with entertaining a lease?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely,
I think
yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, so I think if you're fine with the rough draft the city attorney drafted, I'll send that over to the company and ask them to make you an offer. And in the meantime, I'll find out if other cities are getting any type of rent.
Do you have to tell them how much you're receiving now?
Sure,
No.
it's a public record. They
No.
can ask.
But right now, they don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Good to go on?
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll go to item 12 then, police charger and sealed bids. Remember, we had sent that out and then, Matt, you want to tell the folks what happened with that vehicle?
So no bids, which is good. I would say probably after the last council meeting, we were probably 2 weeks in. After the council meeting, I get a message on my phone and said, listen to this. And it was a charger that was running and it wasn't running very good. So I'm like, well, let's see what's going to go on with it. So I had to have Torkelson's. I see that.
Yeah.
Torkelson's come up, put it on their flatbed. They took it to Elgin. At first, they thought it was a couple minor things, and they did some testing, and it wasn't that. So then they had to dig into more of it, and they found out that the camshaft and lifters are shot in the engine. So as it sits outside of Torkelson's, tore apart, it's not drivable. I was there a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, talking to the mechanic. The best option the city would probably have is to get that charger fixed and then utilize that vehicle whole department wise for the city as a spare vehicle for like the streets, the sewer, the water, whatever, or even us to run little errands like to the water samples to Waterloo, across, or whatever they got to do, or if Darcy or the mayor need to use it as a spare vehicle. So if the city goes that route, as of right now with this is the total. Just to tear down to figure out what was wrong with it, and the toll fee was $1,000. To get it fixed would be $4,000. Total price on the bill would be $5,000.
Here we thought we were gonna make so much.
Yeah.
Could we put it up the seal bid again, but with the minimum bid minus the 5,000 that it cost us to just get it back in working
Yeah,
order?
it's up to you guys on what you
We
want
had
to
a
do with
minimum
it.
of 14, right?
Right. What
So could we just
is
put it with a minimum of like 9,000?
so basically what it is they're gonna pretty much be putting in a whole new engine in the vehicle. The engine, the body wise, has 100,000 miles on it. The engine has 100,000 miles on it, but what got it is the hours on that vehicle, the idling hours. I guarantee you that idling time is more than what the actual miles are on.
Oh, yeah, because it's not moving, so it's.
Right. And that's the biggest thing that hurts all these vehicles is leaving them run idling unattended the whole time with hours getting onto it. That's where you start burning up the water pumps, your radiators, and now, your cam gets into the engine and it's not good. So that's basically what it was, the idling time on that vehicle.
But it hasn't dropped a valve yet.
Just camshaft and lifters.
So that's what they're gonna do is put new camshaft and lifters in?
Yep, that and some they removed both the cylinder heads and found camshaft worn. They recommend replacing the camshaft and lifters. Estimate for the job, and they give the price.
Why do we want to, after we fix it, you can't sell them broken hardly.
No,
So
as it
after we fix it, why do we want to keep it?
that's entirely up to you
Yeah,
guys.
that's up to you.
That's entirely up to you guys.
That's sitting around with the spare.
That's whatever you guys want to do. I
Is
mean,
it all the police equipment's torn out of it?
no, the only thing that's torn out of it right now is the radio. The other equipment we did take out for the Explorer. What'll have to come out would be the rest of the cage, the light bar, and the control panel to the light bar and the radar will have to come out.
What would you get if you took it to Clayton County and recycle?
No, you're not going to get
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah, you're just going to get. Put it this way: the individual I talked to at Torkelson's, they said right now we're sitting on a boat anchor, a boat anchor.
Oh, blue anchor, yeah.
The only good thing with that car is it's got the 5.7 V8 engine in it. So there's not too many of those Chargers around that have that, but
Well, if we put it out for bid, can we say almost new engine? I mean,
you guys can put it out whatever.
yeah,
I mean that's pretty much when I talked to them down there. They said pretty much what you're doing is you're putting in a new engine into a body car that has 100,000 miles on it.
And then, I mean, if we get our 5,000 back, you know, that would be good. You
Right.
know, I mean, we don't have to ask for the
Right.
moon, just get our money back.
Or
But
like 10,000. you could
Yeah.
have-
So okay, I gotta throw a little devil's advocate here. Why would you be asking less money when you got a brand new motor?
No, you'd be asking more, but you take off 5,000.
Why?
know
Why?
what?
Why would you do that? You're spending $5,000 to put a brand new motor in this car.
So if our minimum bid was 14,000,
As
we
is.
should ask
Well,
19,000.
Yeah, you put
Is that
five
what you're
into it.
saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you've got, you know exactly what you've got as far as the body, the car. And Matt has already explained why this car, it hasn't behaved well. We've put a lot of money in it, but it's because, and it's all to do with the idle time. And it had all pretty much to do with the engine.
Does it need to idle because it was the K9 vehicle?
Well, let's go back to 2018 when that vehicle first was purchased.
Mhm,
It was nothing but headaches then,
mhm, yeah,
which I wasn't involved in it.
Yeah.
But it was headaches then, and at that time it was not a canine
right,
vehicle.
yeah.
But it idled
Mhm,
a lot.
mhm.
So the thing is, it's too bad that we could go back and sell it a long time ago.
But
Well, we need to
Yeah.
address the idle with our vehicles. So you need to talk to the
And
officers
I've-
about idling
and I've-
cars.
I've written multiple notes that idling you don't need to be doing. It only takes you 2 minutes to warm up the vehicle in the wintertime and 2 minutes to cool it off in the summer. Now, granted, if there's a dog in there, yes, leave it idling. But if the dog is not in there, the vehicle shouldn't be running. It can be,
And is it mainly because of the onboard computer?
nope,
I mean, the
Oh, the-
portables?
nope. It has nothing to do with electronics. It's
It's
just the
personal
idle
comfort.
the hours, kind of like a tractor, you know, they
No,
go
but
by
I
the
mean,
hours.
is it left idling because of the personal comfort then? So it's cool when they get in or warm when they get in?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then
And
that's.
response time, maybe. I mean, a lot of highway patrol or state
Well,
patrol never shut them off.
I know. I
Right.
mean, I'm used to
No,
pulling
yeah,
up to the
it's-
courthouse and they're
Yeah, yeah.
county deputies and state
Right.
patrol are always
It
running.
doesn't take any
And I've always
much
wondered why.
of a difference to if you got to start your vehicle, put it in gear and go, compared to if it's already running. It's the computers are, if say they're on a timer already, so the computers are already on, and they have a. I think most of ours are shut down in like 45 minutes.
But it's not a matter of the interior getting too hot or too cold that affects the computer,
Nope.
the laptop that you carry.
Nope. Because like the computers in the summertime gets hot, once they turn, I have the built-in fans inside those computers that'll
Okay.
cool them down.
That's what I always assumed. It was just the
Yeah.
officer's laptops.
So anyway, what would you folks like to do?
We'll put it out for bid again and say it's got a new engine.
So you're going to make a motion to repair it for $5,000.
Repair it. And
You have money in your
Sell it.
account?
I don't have anything.
Well, it'd probably be a July
It'll
bill.
be a July.
We'll
bill.
be in a new budget
Yeah,
year.
it'll be a new budget year, which we're in June, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
by the time it gets built and ready to go, it'll be a July bill. And then right out of the gate,
how about
bills.
In regards to the Charger, I hate to tell you guys this, but in addition to idling, that thing's got some tough miles.
Mhm.
Pursuits. I've looked at it. It needs 4 brand new tires.
It doesn't need 4 brand new tires.
There's 3 different tires on it.
No, they're not. They're all the same. I was just looked at it 2 weeks
But
ago.
anyway, how long is it going to be before the transmission goes out on it? The rack needs to be replaced. It's going to be a money pit for you guys.
Well, we're
It
gonna
always
fix
has
it up and sell it.
Okay,
Don't
so
you
you
need a
got-
charger, Bill?
Can we get a
Was
motion?
was that a motion, Mary?
Made a motion.
Mary, did
Mary?
you make the motion to
Yeah.
fix it?
Yeah.
And-
let's fix the car.
So the motion reads how, Darcy?
Motion by Engstrom to repair and sell the charger.
Second to that?
We put it on, I mean, we can talk about the price after you get the bill. for
You bet.
replacement.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
5,000 may not be, I agree with that, so you need to raise the price, get a brand new motor, hot car. 5.7, is that because it's dependable, economical, or just high power for?
That's just at that year, the models for police packages they were putting in the 5.7s.
They were just
Lot of
good,
power.
dependable,
Got the power.
good dependable motor.
Yeah.
So we're talking 6,000 because of 1,000 towing also.
And if you
He
get
said
it
that,
fixed,
that
That's
doesn't
it.
mean we have to
5,000
drive it, just park it
total
over by
for
the
it.
maintenance until we figure out on the bids. Doesn't mean we have to drive it.
But the motion is to spend the 5,000 to get it up and running.
So move.
you're seconding that?
Did somebody already move it?
We've got a
She did.
motion, but we need a second.
Good enough. Go.
All right. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. All right. Better go ahead and do that.
Kids need a car like that.
Okay, that takes us on then to item 13, the consent agenda. Thing in there you guys want to talk about?
I got lost on this, on the library thing. Maybe I can ask Crystal.
Yeah, I'll come up.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Oh.
Fun stuff.
So I don't know if I'm reading it right or not, but it says new business backdoor bids. And then you accepted the bid from ECR Concrete to redo back steps, handrail and cement slab and patch the holes in the building.
Yes,
And so, and then I guess these are the two.
I cannot get Meyer Concrete to give me a written bid. They came out and looked at the same project, and it's been 2.5 months, and I can't get a bid.
So there's one here from Bacon and one here from ECR.
Yep.
To do the same job.
But Bacon came first and only looked at the slab for some reason. I told them when I would be there for them to come. They came when I wasn't. My employees did not show them the full extent of the project.
So it's not the same.
It
It's
should
not
have
the
been.
same. Right.
And then I wanted the slab and some holes filled. That was my initial.
Yeah.
And then ECR came and pointed out that our retaining wall is literally falling off.
Right.
And the retaining wall is actually pushing our handrail off too, so that their bid, when I was standing there with them, I asked them to do the whole thing.
So.
And I also asked Meyer Concrete, they had the curb on their bid, they had the wall, all of it, but they won't give me in.
So you didn't go back to Bacon and ask him to bid the retaining wall?
I felt bad asking them to come out again. You just told me I called you before I did anything, and you just said I needed 2 bids. You didn't say they had to be identical. I didn't want to bring him back out again when he'd already been there. I felt bad wasting people's time.
So your board didn't approve these
Yes,
bids,
they
you
did.
did? Okay.
Yep, they did. And I told them the exact same thing. I spent 3 months trying to get people to come and give me physical printed bids. And I don't know how y'all get them for the city, but it was like pulling teeth. So when I
So
finally
these
had
are not
someone,
2 different bids for the
no,
same
it's for the
job.
same project.
Because I was gonna ask. That's not for the same project. Because then, I mean, you wouldn't be getting the one that's 8 times the amount.
No, it's,
So you're saying this one is incomplete?
that one was incomplete and it just had for a cement slab.
Okay,
And the other one has the cement
Okay,
slab,
so they're
new
not the-
stairs.
right,
new
so it's not for
wall.
the same job,
It's
these
the
2
same,
bids.
it's supposed to be, but they didn't include all the other things on the vacant one, so.
So, but you don't really have another estimate to compare this to?
No, because I can't get one. And we needed to use our funding and we needed to fix it before someone tripped on it and sued the city.
Okay. I was just asking if it was for the same job, because it
Because
seems,
it had big cracks and everything in it, and we have people use that door even though it says employees only. And I know that someone's gonna trip and sue.
Don't you think that a company would want you to call them back if they were supposed to?
No, the first company I called didn't even want to bid it
Oh,
because it's
really?
not a big enough project.
Gotcha.
And then the next person I called came out immediately, and then almost 3 months later, I still don't have a bid. Bacon came out the same day, but I felt bad asking them to come again. And then ECR came, and it took me a month and a half to get their bid. I don't know how many board meetings I went through to try and get this done. We started talking about it in February.
Did this ECR tell you when they could start?
It's done.
Oh, it is done?
Yeah.
Oh,
We approved it at the last board meeting, and they showed up 2 days later.
Good.
And they said they'd come on Monday, and
How
they
do you
came
like it?
this. It looks great. Come see it. It's the back northwest corner.
Yeah.
They said they would come on Monday, this last Monday, and they showed up on Sunday. Yeah.
Very good. I
Yeah.
do stuff for me.
and super, conscientious and calls me and comes in person every day and it looks really good and now it's actually safe.
Got
So
permits and everything, I think.
you don't need permits when it's redoing something that's already there.
I
So,
know, I was just kidding. Because we just had that at our condo, somebody replaced the sidewalk.
so. Okay.
Good.
Any other questions? I don't think I have any other library stuff. I sent Darcy late my council report or my community development report. I don't know if you have it or not. I did print some just in case, so that was my fault. So I made a map, sort of just of our downtown retail district, to try and explain why it was that I brought up a vacant building ordinance and why it's something I would consider. So, and I think this is pretty correct. I mean, I tried my best to get accurate information. I talked to folks that go through longer than I have. So the blue ones are buildings that have been empty for more than 5 years, and red are ones that are empty now. There's a couple that are like, yes, they're under construction, but they have been for a long time, so they're still kind of empty. They're not a functioning business. You'll see blue are some that are residential. Then purple would be a church or a religious center, because we have a synagogue, we have an Islamic center, we have a couple churches, just so you see what's going on. And then green would be rented or open for business. So I actually feel like this is it's pretty good compared to a lot of communities, right? So we have a lot of open businesses, and that's a good thing. But the reason I brought up the vacant building ordinance was for all those red and blues. And you can see a lot of those reds are unfortunately right on Lawler, which is where most people are going to drive through and see in town. Now, Green Street's doing pretty decent, but a lot of folks aren't going to end up down there if they're just passing through town. So that was why I had brought that up. It wasn't for houses or anything. The city's already doing a good job of taking care of like the eyesore. You guys have already taken care of that. You guys already have an ordinance about no more churches, right, on all of those on the main drag. So we've dealt with that issue. But that's just what I wanted you to see. We have a lot of buildings that just sit there and no one ever does anything with them. And the intention is to get folks to, if they're going to buy a building, have a plan and do something with it versus just, oh, there's a building for sale, so I'm going to buy it and have no plan. So that's why I brought it up. I just thought that map would help you see.
What did the
kind
city
of
attorney say? Can you
why.
remind us what?
Yeah,
he
he's
said?
not in favor of a vacant building ordinance. I think I gave you that email
Did
from
he
him.
say anything about?
Well, okay, so
Or-
it's not enforceable. So you're going to write an ordinance you would never win it in court.
Mm.
And you have to have the manpower as well. So we don't have that. So I can send you his memo again on it. It was a couple meetings ago you had it.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember seeing the memo, but I do remember seeing what she said.
So that may not be the way to go, but if we don't do something, this isn't going to get better. And you're going to continue to have buildings on our main streets where we could have retail that just sit there. And I, for the last 2 or 3 months, have had emails from Val wondering if we have anything for sale, or commercial wise. And it's very frustrating because a lot of folks don't want to rent. And then some of the rents that some of these places are charging are kind of ridiculous. And they want to buy and there's nothing to buy because the second something's for sale, it gets swooped up and it doesn't always have anything done with it.
Yeah,
So if
that's
that's
right.
not a problem for us, cool.
Could we speak to the city attorney if he
But-
has any ideas?
Yeah, maybe he has a
Actually,
different
something-
I could talk to
Even
him.
if there's something that's not,
I thought once upon a
as
time,
it said,
that's-
he wasn't happy with that, but maybe he has another idea how to stop people from buying businesses and just to buy them for the sake of buying them and leaving them empty.
I thought there was something about a brownfield, a few
I'm
years back,
sorry.
something about brownfield.
Yeah, there was,
renovation.
yeah.
There was money to buy, I'm not sure it was buy them, tear them down, or what it was. I know it was.
It was through these guys over here.
Yeah,
So remember that?
Yeah, that was that plan though. That was the brownfield. We had money to do the plan. And then usually the brownfield applications are through Upper Explorer land.
There's also some big grants through the state for like historical buildings
if someone's interested in, like, I don't know if La Canasta, that building counts as historical, it probably does. If they wanted to like remodel and add an eating area out back or a balcony or whatever, if the city was willing to like co-sign with a business owner, I don't know exactly how it works, and it's through the state, so I know that sounds scary, but it's a legitimate thing. Jason, my coach from Heart and Soul, kept trying to push it on me. If you had a business that was interested in rehabbing a historical building and the city was willing to be part of that, there's a lot of grants for that. There's a lot of different big grants, but it does require functioning businesses and business owners that are interested and will fill out paperwork and,
Commitment.
yeah. So,
La Canasta is not a vacant building.
no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, it could be historical or something, yeah.
But also if there's an empty historical building and someone wants to open a business, there's the potential there for that as well. But there would need to be someone to buy it or someone willing to engage in those processes for grants.
So when Val calls you, she has someone that wants to buy.
She emails me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, but she
Yeah,
has someone.
Sometimes she'll just send a generic, hey, is there anything for sale? Commercial, not housing typically.
Yeah.
But in the last couple months, she's had a couple of specific people that are looking to buy something and open a business,
in
and
those.
we don't have any. We've got this one guy who's wanted to open an auto repair shop for over a year.
And none of the owners of the empty buildings are willing to sell to him.
He's contacted them, either they're not willing to sell at a price he's willing to pay. I don't think you can do auto repair at a lot of those buildings.
No,
that are on
that'd be pretty tough.
Lawler's, but other buildings potentially. He looked into the one over, everyone calls it the old shoe store by the library.
Mhm.
It's never been a shoe store since I've been here, but he did ask about that building, but I think the price was more than he was anticipating.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Okay. And then I did meet with a business owner this month who lives in Florida, but he's from Postville, and he has some remote positions, but he wanted to offer those first to folks in Postville. So I did share those both with Val, so they're on the Alan T. Clayton Economic Development page, and then I shared it on the Facebook group. Someone even commented, "Is this real?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is. It's not just it's not a scam post," which we don't really have those anymore. So that was cool, and that's a $40,000 to $50,000 starting position, which has the potential to be more, and insurance. So if you know anyone,
Just a second, what was it, somebody who wanted to start a business?
no, he's got a running business already. He lives in Florida. He's from Postville. He comes up once a year to give scholarships to graduating seniors, and he has 2 remote positions for his insurance company, and he wanted to offer them first to people in Postville, despite the fact he lives in Florida and they're remote. I mean, it could be anyone from anywhere. But because he cares about his hometown, wanted to offer those at least to us first. So I've helped him share those out, hooked him up with the newspaper. I don't know if you followed through on that or not, but anyway. So, and then I also, hopefully the next week or two, have a meeting with another new business owner to help them advertise their business and maybe get a story in the paper or something. And I've got a couple of we'll have to pass it around. Couple of our ads that I did. So this is the Waupun standard little advertisement. So I just have it open to the page with our ad on it. I also, this is for Driftless, Destination Driftless I did. They haven't sent me these yet. Destination Driftless are the tourist guides that are ring bound. They're really nice little books. So that's our ad. It's kind of small. I just printed it so you can see, because I don't have those yet. And then we're also in our Iowa this month.
Oh, that's
And the cool thing about our Iowa is there's a lot of pages where it's like all ads. Ours is like almost by itself.
I
So
saw
it
that.
kinda
I
sticks
almost
out.
think
It was
that
That's a great magazine to be in, honestly.
Yeah,
If you're
and
looking for
Our
folks to read it.
Iowa, I think they said their circulation is almost larger outside the state
Yeah.
of folks who've moved out of the state. So cool stuff. And
Yeah,
last
that's
week,
put together good, that magazine.
yeah. Last week I had someone reach out to me and email me and say, "Hey, we want to come to Postville." They were from, I want to say they're from Lansing. And there's 4 of us coming. What do we want to go? And so I gave them information about restaurants and markets they could go to. And I went to Galena, went to the kosher market. They went to La Canasta, stopped in the library. So that's 4 people But it's like, maybe they saw this ad, I don't know, they emailed me that we got to go to 5 different businesses in town and spend some money, so that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Questions or anything?
This is good. I like, I mean, it's, yeah, but I do see it.
Oh, yeah,
This is empty, but this would be 1251. And that's a, that's
Wasn't this
a,
for goodbye?
see, this is a
That hasn't been
pharmacy, parking lot. Goodbye place. The pizza.
oh, yeah, you're right, that
Yeah.
should be,
That
that should be green,
green.
yeah.
Not that I'm trying to be critical.
I
but
made
was
it and then I
I
had
didn't
my
think you
husband
would.
make it look
We
pretty.
figured it was a
So,
scam.
It's also
Yeah.
possible.
Money launder.
Your husband didn't do it.
I like this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I'm just leaving that.
All right. Any more questions for Crystal? Yeah, Bob.
This is the
People on the council, other than
Yes,
Larry,
that's the one.
Larry, do you remember the old scat house?
I do.
Okay, you remember that? That used to be a really cool house.
And well, they had a stage in there and everything.
Yeah. And now it's just trash.
Yep.
Who owns that?
I recognize the name, but I can't place the house.
It's where the dentist.
Well, where Coleridge.
Dr. Coleridge
Oh.
is.
That was a nice house.
We used to go Christmas caroling now.
Yeah.
Get hot chocolate.
That was fixed inside. It had like a lot of flood damage or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
Something.
froze. The pipes
Yeah.
froze, and then it's completely gutted in there.
Beacon is public record and you can look up all the properties in town.
Oh, yeah. I do that. I
But
do.
it has windows broken out.
Yes, yes.
It's not in
Yeah,
good.
it's-
We're watching it. Anything else on the consent agenda?
Can you explain the diamond maps?
Sure, yep. So that is the GIS that our water and sewer operator used to locate water and sewer lines
This is on
remotely.
each. Yep.
So it's just the renewal. We've had it for a couple years.
Anything else, you guys? If not, is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor say aye. Those say no, carry. All right, that takes us to item 14, resolution for money to pay the claims.
Make a motion to pay the claims.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mary, whenever you're ready, Darcy.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
All right, thanks. That brings us to 15, public comment again, if anybody's got anything.
Are you, I can just do it from here, I'll speak loud.
You better speak loud because it's not picking you up.
Okay.
All right,
Are you folks aware that KCRG TV has said that Iowa is now the #1 state for new cancer cases in the United States? Did you know that?
I've
Anybody?
heard that, yes.
And that's absolutely ridiculous. Our elected officials should be doing something about this. There's a lot of talk about Roundup and Bayer Chemical. I would like to know how much money Kim Reynolds gets paid by Bayer Chemical because she does not want to look into this. I've listened to her on the TV and I've listened to her people, and they say, until we are proven that Roundup is a cancer-causing carcinogen, we cannot do anything about it. But what should happen, there should be a committee formed of cancer doctors, farmers, chemists, and whoever else. And they should be looking into that.
I thought they changed their recipe or whatever you want to call it for the chemicals.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. And there's more and more people all the time who are getting cancer. And I'm not speaking negative about the farmers. And I think the farmers would really like to have, if there's something available, an alternative to Roundup, to figure it out, something that isn't as chemically toxic to use. And the other thing was, are you aware that Roundup Bayer sent people to Des Moines to try and get a bill passed that they couldn't be sued if someone with cancer came up and sued them? And I don't think that's right either. So this needs,
Did that pass?
No.
No.
not yet.
Okay, still in the works.
Well, they knocked it out for now. But
Okay, didn't make the,
no, not
didn't
the
make the cut.
cut, right. So that's all I have to say.
All right.
You're all doing a good job. And you better get the mayor a bark lounge if we're putting up with all the crap that he has to put up
That's
with.
it. Mayor's good. Thank
Okay,
you,
have
Bob.
a good evening.
Yep.
Vic.
Thanks, Bob.
Anybody else? All righty. That takes us, okay.
Oh, go ahead. We get this magazine, and I never read it usually, but today I must have been bored or something. Anyway,
What
I
magazine is that?
this
Oh, I don't get that.
You don't?
council member. Huh.
Well,
Anyway.
no, I am.
Oh, anyway, it was talking about incentives to become a professional or a volunteer firefighter. And I assume they know they get a tax credit on their tax returns. But there was one thing, the last one was, it's a voluntary program where the city, the fire chief would send the city a list of firefighters, and there's certain criteria they have to meet. And then the city would put $500 in an account for them, and the state would match that. And then it's kind of like an IPERS thing when they retire.
But do they have to be a department of the city?
Yeah, which we aren't now.
Did not say that.
I would think they
Um,
I
maybe
think they
would.
have
They
to.
have to be.
Well,
It's-
I'll look, but
They just passed a thing for fire departments for service awards for years of service for the fire and volunteer firemen and other incentives like you're talking about in order to get volunteers to become volunteer
Right.
because
yeah.
state of Iowa is like, well, it's not just state of Iowa, it's all around that they're losing volunteers for fire departments and EMS. So that's why the governor did sign. I saw that this week that they did pass for incentives for rewards for years of service and kind of like a retirement thing for
Like
them as
this,
well.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be part of the city.
Right.
City-owned department.
Well,
Right.
and I'm gonna doubt that a little bit because we've got a lot of fire departments right now that they have a name of a city and they have nothing to do with the city. So I don't know if that's true.
I don't
You know,
know.
so I mean, so that's something that can certainly be looked into, you know, but yeah.
It's on page 11 in the
Okay,
magazine.
all right.
You get
But
that?
I just thought, for next,
It's in my
Next year's
box.
budgets.
You don't get it?
You get it in
Couldn't do.
email because of that Nikki Shields thing. that we
Yeah,
did.
it's,
You should
sometimes
get
it comes
in
email.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know
I'll send
why I
you
did
the next
it.
time.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
can, you
Anyway.
can have my copy.
I did it. This way, I want to ask also if I can just, I guess, touch base and just ask, what's happening with our new housing development? I see like those plans that he showed us. and-
What a
What
wonderful
are we
question.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ben was gonna be here tonight.
Okay.
The fellow we had been talking
yeah.
to earlier, and he was just going to come as for the public comment time because we'd already had the agenda put together.
Okay.
I talked to him
Okay.
Friday afternoon, and he was going to be, but there was a death in his family, so he couldn't make it tonight. But thank you for bringing that
I mean,
up.
What are, yeah,
Yes.
what are our next steps?
You
It's
bet.
very
So-
exciting.
That's where we need to go. Yeah. So hopefully he will be around next month, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and yeah, he's going to start working on it.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, if we still do our comments for the city council comments, is that what we're doing now? Even
Sounds
though
like
you
it.
haven't made yours.
Oh, sorry.
I don't care.
Okay, what I was gonna bring up is about similar things about that. We've lost a lot of teachers this year at Postville, I understand. Someone just again, and they've some of them are leaving because they can't find housing. Places to buy, housing to buy, so when we get that, maybe when we get that development in, there'll be some teachers that'll want to.
Sure, you bet, yeah. I think we've got all kinds of possibilities and we need to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right,
Although we have a housing problem, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
that hasn't gone.
that's right.
Did that get
Yeah.
seated down?
Yes, ma'am.
Did it?
Yep. So it did, yeah, the property did get seeded down, so, yeah.
That's not really yellow bags. Fresh bags.
Well, yeah, if anything sticks up, the bag grabs a hold of it, so, but we'll have, Dave will probably go out there one of these days and mow the weeds down, so,
Is this behind the dollar?
yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys got any more comments and then,
Can I make a comment?
yeah,
So I laid out before all of you a meeting that is on Monday, the 16th. It is your final borrowing meeting. So there's 2 resolutions that'll need to be adopted that night to finalize your $880,000 general obligation bond. And it's at 6:00 and you have your agenda laying before you tonight to remind you and take with you or leave here.
680,000, I thought it was bigger than that.
Well, not to exceed $1 million,
What's that?
not to exceed $1 million.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 880.
That's what I thought I
Oh,
said.
I thought it was 680.
Oh, I meant 880.
Yeah.
and I think already, Laura, you've made a comment, you may not be here, so,
It's probably possible I won't be here.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so, but we will need a quorum
We need a
in here
quorum.
to wrap
I'll
up
be
that
here.
borrowing. So
I'll be-
I didn't want you to not remember and I didn't want to forget. So you have
Thinking
it.
ahead, right?
Yeah.
Will one of you two be here? I hope so. Larry?
I think I'll be here. It's a Tuesday,
It's
Monday.
a Monday
Monday. I should be here.
at 6
Okay,
o'clock.
I will be
like a
here.
week from now.
Okay, so we have a quorum.
Okay. All right. So anything, what's this? What is this?
So just every year we get that same award for policy management for Lexi Poll
All right,
that
and
all
this,
the officers got to go by.
okay, sorry. I mean, I didn't know, but
Yeah.
it's through the police department
Okay.
for excellence in law enforcement and policy management for our police department.
And who presented
Yeah.
that?
Lexipol, which
Lexi
is,
Poll, which is
It's
kind of
it's through our insurance,
Insurance, you
and
like
you
that.
probably saw the bill in there.
Right.
We pay that every year for updated policies for law enforcement that they need to follow.
How is our new young man doing? The one in school and the one that just
Oh,
got out?
CJ's doing good. I talked to him yesterday. He's 5 weeks in. He's doing good. He's basically said it's what he expected when he was out of Minnesota, and Jacob's doing fine. He doesn't have to. He's not going to get deployed, so
it's good.
He's
I
happy and
forgot about that.
he's doing good.
Yeah.
So they're both working out.
Yeah, they're doing,
Good.
doing well. Yes. Anything else, you guys? I just got a few comments.
Parade.
Parade is Friday night.
Right?
Friday night.
So what's the route?
Last year's route.
Last year?
Am I supposed to still help you this year? Or did you?
I
have
don't know.
somebody-
Nobody's asked
Oh.
me to announce.
Did anybody talk to
Mike?
Girl?
Nope.
Nobody's done
Is
it.
that where you were set up at?
Yeah, that's where he
supposed
was.
to announce it?
Yeah.
Well, you normally do, don't
Should I
you?
agree to that?
Did you
Yeah,
want
did,
to?
and you
Are
said
you
you'd get someone
available?
To help you, and I said I would help you.
You're in.
You're in and I'm in. Okay,
So like,
A lot of my announcing partners aren't here today with us anymore.
well, that's not gonna.
did they
be
move
nice.
on to better things?
You know, I hope so.
So is that 7, right? Start time?
Yeah, line up 6:30, start time 7.
Well, contact me and let me know what I need to, what I need to be, where I need
Show
to
up in
be,
front of Grau Funeral Home.
what time. 6:30?
So 6:30 is lineup, parade is at 7.
Sometimes maybe 6:30.
So
quarter to 7,
someone will
we kinda
need
go over what we're doing.
Get the
Okay.
papers from us or stop in and get them in the afternoon, whichever. And then someone needs to talk to Mike Monroe, because didn't you use his
Yep. Auction truck.
auction truck?
I didn't talk to him all the year.
Did you talk to him last
I
year?
did.
You got him on board?
I'll talk to
You're
him.
talking to him, okay.
Talk to him.
How come we don't go down Main Street anymore?
Because you guys decided last month that you didn't want to.
It's a lot easier to take it down Maple, just with traffic control.
Shade.
Yeah, and it just flowed easier last year. I think we had this conversation earlier in the year.
Do we have as many people watching?
I think so.
There's a lot of people where I was at.
Yeah.
Well, I think what
Well,
happened
even
is
wasn't it
last year
Dairy
they didn't
Days
know
last
it
year?
somewhere
Yeah.
else, and a lot of them lined up downtown in their chairs without knowing it. They didn't get the message that it was gonna be a different.
And
route.
we posted the route. So
So I know it was.
I was there an hour before the parade telling everyone where to go.
Good.
The whole time, with flyers, with directions on how to get there in 5 different languages.
Good.
And that day I put up flyers on every business down the street. So there still were people that were setting up, but I would like go to them and run and be like, no, it's over here. Here's a map.
So
Go.
thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of people on the street. You're
I
right,
know.
they didn't know.
Wasn't it the road construction?
Yeah,
next to anyone?
that was last year.
Well, that was the biggest reason for changing it was the road construction.
well, we're taking it down Tilden because you're too late to change your mind again. There's been no
No.
permission from the DOT.
I didn't get the permits out.
So it's going down to Maple.
I like it because it was a lot shadier,
It's a lot easier to control traffic.
because it lines up right where it's supposed to anyway.
Yeah,
Yes, from a different
We don't have
angle.
the speaker system though we had with the other one, do we?
right. That's why we had Mike Monroe bring his
Yeah.
truck.
Bring his truck out. And I'm checking.
Well, you're only, it's very directional, you know,
Right.
an auction truck is very directional. So, I mean, I guess,
Do you need to even announce? I mean, how many parades you've been at? They announce people. Is it necessary?
Well, only the people close can
yeah, I mean, it just, it doesn't,
Right.
it doesn't
Is it
reach out very
really
far.
detrimental to it? I don't.
I have a big speaker with a microphone you can use if you want it. Just make you feel good. You can break out into singing and dancing. It's got karaoke with it
Are you
too.
gonna
Oh, there you
utilize
go.
it or not? Because I'm checking with my brother right now about.
Yeah, we'll set up.
Garage
Larry will be
parking.
there. These two will be there, and then we'll use your
You can
karaoke
use-
machine
You
and
can use my
away
big
we go.
speaker if you want to.
I think we announced, a lot of people don't know who's in it. Everybody doesn't know who's
Oh, they haven't got a clue.
driving or riding or the serviceman or. Just to try to let people who are maybe newer to town know who's there.
They gotta sit close by. It's only gonna belt out so far. It's not gonna
Yeah.
cover a whole town.
Well, Mike's didn't either.
It's not like a tornado
No,
siren.
it
It's just a little speaker.
Larry's coming, Terry's
All
You
right.
can use it.
That'll be coming. That'll be coming. And then, so I don't know, saw a lot of you last night at the Fireman's Steak Fry, and that was, I think, a huge success. Yeah.
Very good meal.
Very good meal, and it's first time I've ever seen where the Jewish connection was huge, you know, and it was just great to be sitting down with a lot of different folks. Brought a lot of people in, so that's it was a great thing.
A lot of kids in the jump bouncy house.
Yeah, yes, yeah. All right, I'm done. So is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Second?
Get in there.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Thanks, everybody, for coming.